The food critic who destroyed my restaurant left me a 1-star review. Last night, he made a reservation for 2. I was 9 when Mom taught me to cook, standing on a wooden stool, watching her hands fold apple slices into pastry dough. The kitchen smelled like cinnamon and butter and love. "Cooking is how we show love," she said, tucking my hair behind my ear. "When you feed someone, you give them a piece of your soul." She died when I was 19, sudden heart attack, one day laughing at dinner, the next day gone forever. I couldn't eat for weeks, everything tasted like grief and emptiness. But eventually I returned to her kitchen, made her apple tart from memory, crying into the dough. When I tasted it, I tasted her warmth, her wisdom, her presence. That's when I knew I would become a chef, not for fame or money but to keep her alive, to give others what she gave me. I applied to culinary school the next week. My sister Ivy hugged me. "You're going to be amazing." I believed her. Culinary school destroyed most students. 18-hour days, burns and cuts, instructors screaming because your bechamel broke or your knife cuts weren't uniform. I loved every brutal second. My hands learned to move like dancers, precise, confident. My palate developed. I could taste when something needed salt before anyone else noticed. Ivy came to my graduation. She was 24, working retail, still finding her path. She hugged me tight. "I'm so proud of you," she whispered. Dad was there too before the cancer. He took us to the nicest restaurant in town, ordered expensive wine we couldn't afford. To Celeste he toasted, "My daughter, the chef." Ivy smiled, but something flickered in her eyes, something I didn't recognize. After graduation I moved to New York, got hired at a prestigious French restaurant, 3 Michelin stars. The chef, Marcus Beaumont, was legendary. For 6 months it was perfect. Then he started touching me. Small things at first, hand on my lower back, standing too close, then worse. Marcus's touches became aggressive. He'd press against me while I plated, corner me in the walk-in cooler, make sexual comments disguised as jokes. "You have talented hands, Celeste. I wonder what else they're good at." I froze every time. The other cooks saw, they looked away. I needed this job, needed the experience. Who would believe me over Marcus Beaumont, 3 Michelin stars, featured in every magazine? One night after closing, he cornered me in the prep kitchen. Everyone had left. He tried to kiss me. I shoved him hard. "Don't ever touch me again." His face transformed from desire to fury. "You think you're special, you're nothing, a mediocre cook who'll never make it." I reported him the next day. HR listened with neutral expressions, took notes, said they'd investigate thoroughly. 2 days later, they called me back in. "Unfortunately, your account isn't corroborated. Several colleagues expressed concern about your behavior instead." My stomach dropped. "What behavior?" "Chef Beaumont says you've been claiming his recipes as yours." "That's not true," I protested. "None of that is true." The HR director's face remained neutral, professional, cold. "Chef Beaumont has documentation that you've been telling other staff his dishes are your creations. When he confronted you about this professional misconduct, you apparently fabricated these harassment allegations as retaliation." "He assaulted me, multiple people saw." "No one witnessed any assault, but multiple people witnessed your attempts to take credit for his work. Given the circumstances, we think you should resign. If you resign quietly, we won't pursue legal action for defamation." I was being fired, threatened, for telling the truth. I cleaned out my locker that night. The other cooks avoided my eyes. Everyone believed him, the famous chef, the man with 3 Michelin stars. No one believed the 25-year-old woman. I was labeled difficult, a troublemaker, someone who made false accusations when criticized. Word spread fast in the restaurant industry. It's a small world. No reputable kitchen would hire me. I'd lost everything because I told the truth. I spent 6 months barely surviving in Brooklyn, worked as a barista, as a catering assistant, anything that kept me away from professional kitchens where Marcus's influence reached. My tiny apartment became a prison. Some days I didn't leave, didn't shower, didn't eat. Dad called every week. "Come home, sweetheart, you can start over here." but coming home felt like admitting defeat, like letting Marcus win completely. Ivy visited once, brought groceries and cleaning supplies. My apartment was a disaster. "You can't let him destroy you," she said, washing my dishes. "He already did." "Then rebuild, prove everyone wrong. That's the only revenge that matters." She was right, I knew she was right. I started cooking again, small dinner parties for friends, pop-up events in Brooklyn lofts, building a new reputation one meal at a time. Slowly, painfully, I remembered why I loved this. After 2 years of clawing my way back, I moved home. Dad was sick by then, stage 3 colon cancer. "I have an idea," Dad said one evening. He was thin now, weakened by chemotherapy, but his eyes still sparkled when he talked about the future. "Let's open a restaurant, together, all 3 of us." Ivy had moved home too, helping care for him between shifts at a local boutique. "Dad, your medical bills," I started. "I've been saving for years. Life insurance, retirement accounts. I want to invest in you girls, give you something that'll outlast me." "Don't talk like that," I protested, tears filling my eyes. "I'm dying, Celeste, we all know it. Let me do something meaningful with what's left." He put up $120,000, everything he had. "Equal partners," he insisted. "Both of you, promise me you'll take care of each other." We promised. We spent months planning. I designed menus. Ivy handled business logistics. Dad offered advice from his hospital bed. "What will you call it?" "Rosewood and Thyme," I said. Rosewood was Mom's favorite tree. Dad cried, first time since Mom's funeral. Dad died 2 weeks before we signed the restaurant lease, peacefully in his sleep, holding both our hands. His last words to me, "Take care of your sister, she needs you." Then squeezing my hand harder, "But don't forget to take care of yourself, you matter too." I didn't understand that second part then. At his funeral, Ivy and I held each other and sobbed. 2 orphans now, parents gone, only each other left. "We'll make him proud," she whispered into my hair. "We will," I promised. We opened Rosewood and Thyme 4 months later, used Dad's money to build something beautiful, 40 seats, exposed brick walls, Edison bulbs, reclaimed wood tables. An open kitchen so guests could watch us work, a garden out back growing herbs and edible flowers. Every detail was personal, every choice intentional. Opening night we served 38 guests. The kitchen was chaos but controlled. Ivy worked the dining room with natural grace. When the last guests left, we collapsed with cheap champagne. "We did it," Ivy said. "Dad would be so proud." I felt his presence in everything we'd built. The first 6 months exceeded every expectation. Food bloggers discovered us, local press wrote features. We got 4 stars in the regional newspaper. Chef Vaughn brings technical precision and emotional depth to every dish. Rosewood and Thyme is a triumph. Reservations filled weeks in advance. By month 4 we were breaking even. Month 5 we turned our first profit. I hired 2 line cooks, a dishwasher. Ivy hired a hostess and servers. We were growing carefully, sustainably. I was healing too. The trauma from Marcus was fading. Not gone, trauma never fully disappears, but manageable. Cooking in my own kitchen, I remembered what joy felt like. I even started dating. Felix was an architect who came in twice weekly. He'd sit at the bar sketching, drinking wine. One night he showed me his drawing, the restaurant rendered beautifully. "It's stunning here," he said, "but mostly because of you." We started seeing each other, slowly, carefully. "You light up when you cook," he told me once, "like conducting magic." Ivy teased me mercilessly. "Look at you getting a life outside this kitchen." Everything was perfect. I should have known. Looking back, there were warnings, small things I missed because I trusted completely. Ivy started taking days off, visiting friends in the city, she'd say, or doctor's appointment, nothing alarming. But the timing was strange, always midweek, always requiring overnight stays. Financial records showed occasional discrepancies, a few hundred here, 500 there. When I asked, Ivy explained, supplier negotiations, I paid cash for bulk discounts. It made sense, I didn't question it. She became secretive about her phone, would step outside for calls, would angle her screen away if I walked past. New guy, I teased once. She blushed. Maybe it's early, I don't want to jinx it. Tell me about him. When it's serious, I promise. I respected her privacy. She'd always been more reserved than me. There were other moments, times she seemed distracted during service, moments when I'd catch her staring at me with an expression I couldn't read. Something like sadness or resentment. You okay? I'd ask. Just tired, she'd say. I believed her, why wouldn't I? She was my sister. It was a Tuesday afternoon, quiet prep time. I was breaking down a duck when Ivy burst through the kitchen doors. Her face was flushed, excited, nervous. Celeste, we need to talk now. I set down my knife. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong, something's happening. Damien Cortez just made a reservation. The name hit me like cold water. Every chef knew that name. The Critic. Yes, Thursday night, 8 p.m. He booked under a pseudonym, but I recognized the credit card from industry forums. Damien Cortez, 2 million followers, the most influential food critic in the region. His reviews were literary masterpieces of praise or destruction. A positive review meant Michelin consideration, national attention, financial security. A negative review meant bankruptcy. My hands started trembling. Are you absolutely sure? She showed me the reservation, D. Miller, but the credit card ending matched what she'd seen online. This is our chance, she said, gripping my shoulders. A good review from him changes everything, investors, press, everything we've worked for. Or he destroys us. He won't, your food is incredible. I wanted to believe her. I didn't sleep Tuesday or Wednesday night. The menu consumed every thought. I tested each dish obsessively, adjusted seasoning by single grains of salt, timed temperatures to the exact second. The menu I planned. Amuse-bouche, smoked salmon roulette with dill oil and caviar. First course, butter-poached lobster with corn velouté. Main, duck breast with cherry gastrique, parsnip puree. Signature, Mémoire Mom's apple tart reimagined. I called suppliers. I need your absolute best, prime lobster, heritage duck, perfect apples. They delivered Wednesday afternoon. I inspected everything personally. The lobster was still moving. The duck was marbled beautifully. The apples smelled like autumn itself. Felix stopped by Wednesday evening. You look exhausted, he said gently. This review changes everything. If he loves it, we're set. If he hates it, he won't hate it. Your food is extraordinary. But what if? He kissed me. Stop, trust yourself. Thursday arrived like a death sentence. Ivy was unusually attentive, offering to help with tasks I normally handled alone. Let me prep the dessert components, she offered. You focus on savory. I let her make the caramel, prep the candied rosemary. At 8 p.m., Damien Cortez walked through our door. He was exactly as I'd imagined. Mid-40s, distinguished, salt and pepper hair perfectly styled, expensive suit. He moved with the confidence of someone whose opinion could make or break careers. Ivy greeted him warmly, seated him at table 7, best view of the kitchen. He ordered burgundy, observed everything with calculating eyes. From my station I watched through the kitchen window, my heart hammered violently. Focus, I whispered, just cook. The amuse-bouche went out first. Smoked salmon roulette piped perfectly, garnished with microgreens and caviar pearls. I'd made it 1,000 times, it was flawless. Through the window I watched him taste it. He nodded, made notes. His expression revealed nothing. Neutral was good. Neutral meant no disaster yet. The lobster course took 20 minutes. I poached the tail at exactly 140 degrees. The velouté was silk, perfectly emulsified, seasoned with precision. I'd tasted it 3 times before plating. Perfect, it was perfect. Ivy expedited the course, walked it to his table herself. Damien tasted it, chewed slowly, wrote extensive notes. Still no expression. The duck course left my station at 9:15. Medium rare, rested exactly 3 minutes. I'd never cooked better. At 9:30 it was time for mémoire, Mom's dessert, my signature. The components were ready: tart shells I'd baked that morning, brown butter ice cream churned fresh, salted caramel still warm, candied rosemary Ivy had prepared. "Let me plate it," Ivy said, appearing at my station. "I always plate my own desserts." "I know, but Celeste, you look exhausted. Your hands are shaking. Let me help, please. This is too important to mess up because you're tired." I hesitated. She was right, I was exhausted. Adrenaline made my hands unsteady. "Plating required precision." "You're sure?" "I've watched you do it 100 times. I know exactly how you want it." "Okay," I handed her the components. Apple tart scented, ice cream at 7 o'clock. Caramel drizzle. "I know, trust me." I watched her work. She moved confidently, placed the tart, added ice cream, drizzled caramel, garnished with rosemary. It looked perfect. She carried it to table 7 herself. Through the window I watched Damien's fork cut through the tart, watched him take that first bite. His eyes closed briefly. Good, bad, I couldn't tell. He took another bite, another, wrote extensively in his notebook. At 10:15, he paid and left without speaking to me. Standard Critic behavior. I collapsed against the prep station, every muscle ached from tension. "How do you think it went?" I asked Ivy. She hugged me tight. "You were amazing, I think we did it, I really think we did it." We cleaned the kitchen together, exhausted but hopeful, laughing about small mistakes, replaying every moment. Felix called at midnight. "How'd it go?" "I don't know, he gave nothing away. The review comes out in a few days." "Your food was perfect, I know it was." "I hope you're right." I fell asleep that night believing everything would be okay, believing the nightmare was finally over, believing I'd finally get the recognition I deserved. The next 4 days were agony, waiting, refreshing his blog constantly, nothing. Then Monday night Felix texted, "The review posts tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. I barely slept, set my alarm for 5:55. At 6 a.m. my phone exploded with notifications. Buzzing non-stop, Twitter going crazy, my restaurant's name trending. I grabbed my phone with shaking hands. Saw the headline. And my world ended. Rosewood and thyme, pretty lies on pretty plates. 1 star. I read it 5 times before it became real. 1 star out of 5. The review was elegant cruelty. Celeste Vaughan's Rosewood and Thyme promises refined technique and seasonal elegance. It delivers pretentious mediocrity. The lobster was catastrophically overcooked, rubbery and stringy. The corn velouté was oversalted to the point of inedibility. The duck arrived lukewarm and underseasoned. The cherry gastrique was cloying rather than balanced. But the true travesty was mémoire, allegedly honouring her late mother. The ice cream reeked of freezer burn. The tart was soggy. The entire dish tasted of desperation. Most concerning, numerous similarities between Vaughan's dishes and those at Le Bernardin and Alinea. This appears to be culinary plagiarism, stealing from masters and executing poorly. Plagiarism. That word, the same accusation Marcus had used to destroy me 3 years ago. I ran to the bathroom and vomited. Called Ivy, she answered immediately. "I just saw it, Celeste, I'm so sorry." "I don't understand, the food was perfect." "I know, this doesn't make sense." The lobster wasn't overcooked, the velouté wasn't oversalted, I tasted it 3 times. Maybe his palate is off. But critics don't give 1-star reviews because of palate issues. By noon, the review had 20,000 shares. Within a week, everything fell apart. Food Twitter was vicious. People compared my dishes to famous restaurants, side-by-side photos that proved nothing but looked damning. She literally copied Le Bernardin's lobster, pathetic. I'd never even been to Le Bernardin. Reservations cancelled, 47 in 6 hours, then more, our book emptied like water from a broken glass. Suppliers called demanding immediate payment. Given the review, we need cash only. The investors called an emergency meeting. 3 men in suits looking at spreadsheets. We need immediate repayment, $120,000. We don't have that, give us time. The plagiarism accusation makes this impossible. Our reputation is at stake. They're not stolen recipes. It doesn't matter what's true, it matters what people believe. The bank called our loan, $80,000 due immediately. I was drowning, suffocating under debt I couldn't pay. Ivy and I worked 18-hour days, let the staff go, just us two trying to keep the dream alive. But the math was impossible. We needed 40 covers nightly to survive. We were getting 5, then 3. We lasted 8 brutal weeks. Then it was over. On a Tuesday in November, I unlocked the restaurant door and knew it was finished. The dining room felt like a tomb, ghost of everything we'd built. I called Ivy, we have to close. She cried, maybe if we... There's no maybe, we're $200,000 in debt, no one's coming, it's over. We announced closure the next day. The local paper ran a small article, Rosewood and Time closes after damning review. We auctioned the equipment, $23,000 for $90,000 worth of gear. After paying immediate debts, I was left with $180,000 in personal liability. I lost my apartment, couldn't make rent, lost my car, repossessed while I was grocery shopping. Everything I'd built over 33 years, gone. I moved into a basement studio, 400 square feet, no windows, mold in the bathroom, $650 a month. Ivy helped me move in. We sat on my second-hand mattress surrounded by boxes. I'm so sorry, she said. This should have been our success story. Dad would be so disappointed in me. No, he'd be proud you tried. But I didn't feel like a fighter, I felt like a corpse. 2 weeks later, Ivy told me she was moving to Seattle. I need space from all this, Ivy said over terrible chain restaurant coffee. Space from what? The failure, the pain. Every day here reminds me of what we lost. I can't handle it, Celeste, I'm not strong like you. I'm not strong, I'm barely surviving. Exactly, and watching you suffer is killing me. I need to heal, I can't do that here. Part of me understood, part of me felt abandoned. What about the business, the debt? We liquidated everything fairly. I took my 40%, $30,000. You got 60, $45,000 like we agreed. She was taking her money and leaving me with the wreckage. When? Next week, I have a friend in Seattle. She's letting me stay while I figure things out. We hugged at the airport. I watched her disappear through security. I was completely alone now. The next day I applied for jobs, any job. A hotel banquet kitchen needed a prep cook, $16 an hour, peeling potatoes for rubber chicken dinners. The head chef knew who I was. Keep your head down, don't cause drama. I was 33, trained in France, had run my own kitchen. Now I was the lowest position in a basement, prepping vegetables. The first month was unbearable. I'd wake in that moldy studio and forget where I was. Then reality would crash back. The restaurant, the review, the debt, the humiliation. Work was mechanical, peel potatoes, chop onions, prep vegetables for banquets I'd never see. My hands moved automatically while my mind was elsewhere, replaying every moment, searching for what I'd done wrong. Felix lasted 3 weeks. We met for coffee, he couldn't meet my eyes. I can't do this anymore, he said. Do what? Watch you destroy yourself, you're angry all the time, depressed, you've given up. I lost everything, what do you expect? I expect you to fight, but you're just existing. I love you, Celeste, but I can't love someone who's given up on herself. He left, I didn't cry, had no tears left. Food became meaningless, I ate cereal and frozen meals, didn't cook, couldn't. Some nights I'd stand on the bridge near my apartment, look down at the water 40 feet below. 1 step, 1 second, then peace. I never jumped, not because I was brave. Because I was too exhausted to choose anything, even death. 4 months passed like this, an endless grey loop. Then I saw the photo. It was Saturday, my day off. I was lying in bed at 2 p.m. because there was no reason to get up. My phone sat on the floor. I picked it up out of boredom, opened Instagram, my old account I'd never deleted. 22,000 followers who'd once loved my food, frozen in time. A notification caught my eye. You've been tagged in a post. I almost ignored it, but clicked. A food influencer's account, 50,000 followers. The post was dated 8 months ago. The photo showed a couple at a wine bar, romantic corner booth, candlelight, his hand covering hers. Caption, when the wine is as intoxicating as the company wine red date night love him. The man was Damien Cortez. The woman was Ivy. My sister. I stared at the screen, blinked, looked again. Still there, still real. Date stamp 8 months ago, 1 week before Damien's review. My hands started shaking violently. The phone fell from my grip, clattering on the floor. I picked it up, zoomed in on Ivy's face. Definitely her. With Damien Cortez. 1 week before he destroyed my life. I sat there for an hour staring. My mind couldn't process what it meant. Then slowly, horribly, I began to understand. I didn't sleep that night. At 3 a.m. I created a fake Instagram account. Generic name Jenny Morrison. Added stock photos of food and coffee, made it look believable. Then I found Ivy's private account. She'd locked it months ago. I requested to follow. By 7 a.m. she'd accepted. 847 followers. She wasn't careful. My finger hovered over her profile for 10 minutes before I could click. Then I started scrolling. Photos of Ivy and Damien dating back 14 months. Portland, San Francisco, Denver, always far from home, always careful. Comments from friends, you two are so cute, and when's he proposing, and power couple, smiling face with heart eyes. One photo from 12 months ago showed them hiking, his arm around her. Caption, found my person red grateful. 14 months. Rosewood and Thyme opened 16 months ago. She'd been with him before we even opened, while we planned menus and chose plates and built Dad's dream. She was with him the entire time. And never told me. A photo from 9 months ago, them at a beach, his arms wrapped around her. Caption, planning our future together. Their future. While I was planning ours. I kept scrolling, needed to see everything. Then I found the caption from 13 months ago. Watching Bay work his magic sparkles, his reviews are literally life-changing, proud girlfriend. Life-changing. My hands shook so hard I dropped the phone. I called in sick to work, spent the entire day digging. The restaurant's email account, I'd never closed it, just stopped checking. I logged in, searched Damien. 7 results appeared. Most were reservation confirmations, but 3 were in the drafts folder. Drafts, emails Ivy had written but never sent. Draft 1 13 months ago, no recipient. I'm so tired of being in Celeste's shadow. Dad always loved her more. She got the talent, the attention, the praise. I got good try and maybe next time. Even now it's her dream, her menu, her vision. I'm just the help. I'm 30 and I'm still nobody. Each word was a knife between my ribs. Draft 2 10 months ago. D says he can help level the playing field, says a review could change everything. I know it's wrong, but maybe she needs to fail once. Maybe then she'd understand what it's like to always come second. My vision blurred with tears. Draft 3 8 months ago, 1 week before the review. The reservation is confirmed, Thursday at 8. I've given him everything, busiest nights, investor names, supplier contacts. But what if we guaranteed the outcome? What if some dishes were compromised? Would that be too much? Compromised. My sister had sabotaged me. I stood, paced, couldn't breathe. She'd planned everything. I called Patricia, the ice cream supplier. Celeste, how are you? I heard about the restaurant, I'm so sorry. Patricia, I need to ask about an order from 7 months ago. Did Ivy ever place unusual orders? Anything shipped to her personal address? Silence, then. Actually, yes, she ordered brown butter ice cream but specifically requested units close to expiration. Said something about testing flavor development. It seemed odd, but she was your partner. My heart stopped when, 2 days before that Critic came. Expired ice cream, deliberately ordered, deliberately substituted. Do you still have records? I keep everything, I can email you. Within an hour, I had proof. Ivy had ordered 3 pints specifically requesting product 3 days past freshness date. The freezer burn Damien tasted wasn't my cooking, it was Ivy's sabotage. I found business account statements online. Ivy's cash withdrawals before the review, $8,000 total. Her credit card statements in a box she'd left behind, charges at high-end restaurants in multiple cities, dates matching her Instagram posts with Damien. Then I found text messages. Our business had a shared phone line. I'd kept it active because cancelling felt too final. I logged into the account, found message history. Texts between Ivy and an unknown number, Damien. The truth was worse than I'd imagined. 3 weeks before the review. Unknown, are you sure? There's no going back. Ivy, I'm sure. She needs to understand what failure feels like. Maybe then she'll stop being so perfect. 2 weeks before. Ivy, I gave you the investor contacts. Use them in the review. Unknown, you're certain this is what you want? Ivy, I want a life with you. This is the only way. 1 week before. Unknown, reservation confirmed, Thursday at 8. Ivy, I'll make sure everything goes according to plan on my end. Day of the review. Ivy, she's finalizing the menu, so naive. She actually thinks this will save her career. Unknown, after tomorrow we can finally start our life together. Ivy, I can't wait. I'm so tired of pretending to care about her stupid restaurant. Her stupid restaurant. Dad's money, Dad's dying wish, our dream. She'd called it stupid. I wanted to scream, wanted to destroy everything. Instead, I kept searching, found photos Ivy had sent Damien of famous restaurants' dishes. Edited to look more similar to mine than they were. Evidence for the plagiarism accusations. She'd manufactured everything. I spent a week documenting it all, screenshots, downloads, printed documents. Then I contacted attorney Gwen Parrish, showed her everything. This is absolutely actionable, she said. You have a strong case, attorney Gwen said. Defamation, fraud, intentional infliction of emotional distress, sabotage resulting in financial damages. Can we win? With this evidence, very likely, but a confession would make this airtight, recorded admission of guilt. How do I get that? That's the tricky part. I went home, sat in my apartment, stared at the evidence spread across my floor. Then my phone buzzed, email notification. From D. Cortez at thehonestpalate.com to info@rosewoodanthem.com. My heart stopped. Hello, I'm inquiring about private dining. I heard you might be doing exclusive pop-up experiences. My partner and I would love to book a tasting menu, visiting the area next Saturday, party of 2, evening preferred. Please let me know. Damien Cortez. He didn't know the restaurant had closed, didn't know I was working in a hotel basement, didn't know he'd destroyed me. My partner and I, Ivy, and neither knew I'd discovered everything. For the first time in 4 months, I felt something besides despair. I felt rage, pure clarifying rage. I smiled, actually smiled. Then I replied, Damien, what a lovely surprise, I'd be honoured. Saturday at 8 p.m, $500 per person. Address is old restaurant location, something special. Celeste. He responded within minutes, Venmo'd me $1,000 immediately. I made 3 calls. Simon the photographer, Terence my former line cook, attorney Gwen. I need your help Saturday night. What's this about? They each asked. Justice.